Greetings YouTube, I'm DigiKai. It's October and fall is finally kicking in. The temperature is cooling down and everyone's freaking out over their midterms. So logically, let's talk about the funnest time of the month. Let's talk Halloween. You know, the holiday where you remember having the most fun in, but now completely ignored due to the never-ending cycle of growing up that prevents you from dressing up and reliving your childhood? Jesus Christ, that was depressing. Now that I brought the mood down, I can skyrocket up by talking about a game and series that I always attributed to Halloween. That's right, a series that is truly ageless and immortal. Now, if you really don't know what this is, then I'm really going to start to worry about this generation. Not that it doesn't give me a reason to worry already. Scooby-Doo was always there for me. I mean, it was the first kids TV show to not only fit mystery and spooky monsters in, but also subliminal messages.
I'm Mary Jane.
Like, that is my favorite name.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Hell, it wasn't only just here in the form of a television show, believe it or not. Scooby-Doo was here in the video game industry as well, since the television all the way to the Wii. Not just the gaming industry, he's in movies, music, theme parks, toys, beddings, cups, space, the sixth dimension, and perhaps even in the air we live in right now. He's everywhere. So why not spend the Halloween month with a game I sort of remember / grew up with? We're going retro for a moment and looking back at Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights. A game I haven't touched in God knows how long. I actually have no idea how it plays or what it even is about. I'm not sure if my brain blocking this game out of its system is a good or bad thing, but I guess there's just one way to find out. Let's jump into Scooby-Doo! Night of 100 Frights was released in 2002 for the PlayStation 2 and the Nintendo Gamecube. It was published by THQ and was the first game Scoobs had in the 6th generation. Whether it has something to prove or not, I think you guys will be the judge of that. From what you guys can already tell, this game looks beautiful. I mean, Jesus. Well, let me start by saying some of the good things that I like about this game. One of these things is the atmosphere. It feels like a Scooby-Doo episode. Actually, so much like a Scooby-Doo episode, this is the intro of the game.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you?
Yes, that's actually in the game, and you know what? I don't have anything to say about that. It's a frame-by-frame recreation of the opening of the show. And while it may look like a cringy, bad animated meme pasta on the internet,
Here's your pizza.
The pizza is aggressive.
I guess you could say it's a bit charming and nostalgic. A little. Okay, not really, but it's about the only thing the game has going for it. Another thing I have to say about this game is that the voice acting is great. Alright, I mean like the way the actors voice act. The sound, let's just say it's not that great.
You smell that salty sea air, Scoob? You know what that means, buddy. Yeah. Seafood!
I mean, you have to think, where could you go wrong when you have Tim Curry in this game? I mean, the only way to ruin that is by recording on a potato. And guess what they did? They recorded on something worse than a potato. They might as well record on a tomato. It's like the people who made this game never heard of sound leveling. Now, granted, you're probably listening to this video and saying, bitch, you don't know anything about sound leveling. And you know what? I admit it. I know nothing about sound leveling. But this game is a game that came out for the PS2 and Gamecube. Fine, you could say some of these points can be due to console limitation, which is perfectly fine, I understand that. While we're used to perfectly detailed immersive games nowadays, looking back at the games from the past might make the game seem worse than it really is. But this is the same year we had Kingdom Hearts, Ratchet & Clank, and Super Mario Sunshine. So who am I to judge? Oh, but this whole thing just gets better. Those were the points that I personally liked about this game. Oh, you might notice I left out some huge parts missing. Like the gameplay or the graphics. Well, let's jump to the rest of this game. First, let's start with the story. The gang gets a call from Daphne's friend to solve the mystery of the disappearance of her uncle. Her uncle was this famous inventor who owns this huge mansion and various acres of property and apparently disappeared before he could uncover his huge invention. Of course, because this is Scooby-Doo, the gang decide to take on the case and go into the scary huge mansion, while Shaggy and Scoob stay behind to, you know. Shaggy ends up falling through a trap door, and Scooby-Doo eventually figures out there's this big bad guy called a mastermind, and he trapped all of his friends, so it's all up to Scooby-fucking-Doo to save the day. Oh, and for some odd reason, Shaggy's the only one that keeps breaking free, and honestly, he just looks like he's having a blast.
This thing's out of control, pal. If you need me, I'll be back at the start. Wahoo!
For what it is, the story isn't badly set up for the Scooby-Doo game. Basically, you have to go through all these 4 areas of the game and save your friends to eventually get to the final boss of the game and uncover the mastermind's secret identity. It's a game that tries, and I appreciate that. It really does feel like you're watching an episode of Scooby-Doo with its quirky jokes and music. However, and I know I said this before, but look at these damn graphics. Look at Fred! Is that the face of your friend? Or is that the face of a serial killer? So the premise sounds simple enough. You go to the 4 areas and rescue your friends. But oh my dear viewer, it only gets better from here. The gameplay set up like any collectathon platform games that came out. Yes, this is a collectathon, because if you even think for 1 second that you can miss a Scooby snack, oh boy, you're going to regret it. Like I said before, the game plays like a 3D platformer, with the exception of one big thing. Didn't you ever wanted to play Banjo and Kazooie with the camera angles of Resident Evil? Well, I got the perfect game for you. The camera angle is one of the worst things I've ever encountered in a game, and I've played Sonic 06. Sometimes you'll get to a level and the camera angle's just so bad you either die immediately or you don't even know what to do. Mixed in with this horrible camera is the horrible color scheme. I get it, you're supposed to be a spooky game. That dark colors make sense. But when you have it so damn dark you can barely see anything, then it's a problem. These fucking colors are so bad mixed in with the enemies and the environment that you essentially found a formula for torture. Everything blends with the fucking background. You see that right there? That's an arrow. How the hell am I supposed to know that? You see these icebergs? You probably think, oh, they're part of the background. Wrong! You knock them down. But okay, maybe the game looks dated, but does it play well? Well, grab a Gamecube controller and try going in a straight line. Go ahead. Go ahead, we're all watching you. Oh, you can't? Well, would you look at that? Now, this game controls pretty terribly, but trust me, there's been worse. It's basic controls. You jump with A, charge up people with B, and you run with R. But you wouldn't probably figure out about the running part unless you did an optional tutorial level that you wouldn't even know it exists. Oh, I almost forgot one of the most important things of this game. The fucking inventions. What are these inventions? Well, they're inventions made by the professor, the doctor, the scientist, whatever the fuck the girl's uncle is. And they're supposed to be breakthrough inventions that no one's ever seen before. Like springs that make you double jump. Or a football helmet that makes you break things and kill enemies. What, you said you've seen these before? No, these are breakthrough inventions. How about this? A shovel. Just think about that. You're a dog and you need a shovel to dig dirt. That's some groundbreaking shit right there. Oh, but it only gets better. You know what's the best tactic you have to sneak past your enemies? I'll give you a guess. That's right, bunny slippers and a lampshade. Oh, but you know what's even better than bunny slippers and a lampshade? Well, what about a fucking knight's armor? Yeah, cause nothing says sneaking past an enemy than a big, clunky, noisy knight's armor. Some of these don't make sense, but you know what? Maybe I'll let it slide. Maybe it's a comedy thing, comedy thing, like banana flavored rain boots. Maybe this is all a joke. And you know what? That's great. But how do these things play? Now, I know what you're thinking. Maybe you don't need to get these items to move through levels. But oh no, you do. You need these stupid items or you can't reach levels of the game without them. And I mean literally, the game will force you to get these fucking things before even moving on. There's no maybe this is optional. No, you have to get them. And guess what? Getting one makes you need another one. And that other one, you probably need the other one. And that other one, you probably need the other one. It's a fucking paradox. But we haven't gotten to the worst of it yet. You know these things? Yeah, Scooby snacks. Ha, Scooby-Dooby-Doo! Well, you better fucking get collecting because you need every single last one of them. Imagine being a kid, not knowing you have to collect these things, getting through as much as you can, and then getting to a fucking door asking you for 800 Scooby snacks. 8 fucking hundred Scooby snacks. But what if you only have 400? Too fucking bad. Go back and collect every single one you saw. Oh, but Digikai, that's easy. Just backtrack and you use your inventions to get wrong. Because you're going to need some of the other inventions to get through the places to get to the other inventions. But you can't get there because you're going to need fucking Scooby snacks. And you can't get to the Scooby snack because you need the fucking inventions and you can't. Ah! Well, guys. Whoa. Wow. Sorry. Where were we? The gameplay? Alright, okay. Well, what else can I say that I haven't already said? The platforming is decent, I guess? Alright, decent is being too kind. It's a platforming game at least. The enemies are basically non-existent. The fuckers aren't that hard to kill at all. But the goal of the game isn't necessarily to kill the most enemies. Actually, you could probably go through this entire game without killing a single enemy. Even the bosses aren't something to give you a hard time about. They aren't hard at all to figure out. As a matter of fact, they're so easy that a 5-year-old kid can figure out how to beat these bosses on the first try. I think that was the intention they were going for, so I can't really give them that much flack. Though you know what the weirdest part of this game is? It seems like the longer you play it, the easier it gets. I'm not just saying that because you get used to the controls or the mechanics, but just generally. I mean, look at these keys. They aren't even trying to hide them anymore. It's as if the developers just gave up halfway through this game. Just like I'm doing right now. Overall though, the gameplay is atrocious. It's not a horrible game if you take out the horrible graphics and the color scheme and the terrible audio. Alright, so maybe it is a horrible game. Though it has some pros with its nice, fun, quirky story with nice enough cutscenes and dialogues that does remind you of the show. If the show was animated by a 5-year-old. And, you know, sound engineered by like a dog. But the game's very few, and I mean very few strong points wasn't quite enough to save it from this. And that was Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights. While not the worst game for the PS2, it's still a bad game for the time this game came out. And definitely even now. Yeah, maybe you're nostalgic and love the hell out of this game. And there's nothing wrong with that, like my friend said while playing this game.
Please save me, it's been 7 hours, he won't let me stop playing, I don't want to play it anymore, kill me, oh my god!
Alright, wrong friend.
Man, this game sucks. But I would have loved the hell out of it when I was a kid.
I'm Digikai and I'm signing out. Come on, John.
No,
come on, Jonathan. Look, you're even dressed like Shaggy.
That was a coincidence.
Come on. You're the perfect Shaggy. Do the Shaggy voice. Come on.
Like, hey, Scoob.
See, that's perfect. I even got a Scooby-Doo for you. Look.
Wait.
Yeah, I got a Scooby-Doo. Come on, Scoob.
What do you mean you have a Scooby-Doo?
I got a Scooby-Doo.
Ready. I need to go. Yeah,
Come on, don't be like that.
No,
Don't be like
no.
that.